Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo. It is Wednesday, July 24th, and we have new Kanata no Astra to watch, and so that's what we're gonna do. Last time on Kanata no Astra, oh boy, we just keep pumping up the tension and the intrigue. More and more, and more and more, and more and more. People are really starting to speculate about things that we're not even sure of. Like, we think that there's a saboteur on board. Who could it be? Who do we not trust? It's kind of like playing Survivor or playing any of those kinds of game show type of things. It's interesting. It's very interesting, and there's evidence for and against a number of characters being the potential saboteur, the potential infiltrator, and it's really intriguing. There are a few theories that I've heard that have really stuck in my head. A lot of them center around Funi, because of some information that we got last episode, which seems to imply that Funi is like a time bomb. Apparently, the sunglasses guy at the orphanage she was at, where she was brought to the orphanage, and then within a few days was like, oh, you're getting adopted. How magical. The guy there, the guy with the sunglasses, said, put them on Bigo, on B5, and we'll eliminate them all. And other references to Bigo, her animatronic puppet thing. So one theory that's really stuck in my head is the concept that Bigo itself is sentient and is the infiltrator. That Funi is the unknowing, unwitting accomplice. I think that's a really interesting story thread, but I have no idea whether it's possible. I don't know. No idea. Now the other possibility is that Funi is one of the all that we're trying to eliminate, right? We're trying to get rid of all of the evidence, and she's a part of the evidence. My idea there is that Funi and Kitteri's appearances are very, very similar. I'm thinking a potential illegitimate child, and maybe repercussions to whoever their parents are. Because from the scenes that we've seen of them, Kitteri, their family seems extremely well off, maybe politically invested, like maybe important. I don't know. I don't remember getting any information about what they do or who they are in society, but I have the feeling that it's like rich family. Maybe they would want to get rid of that kind of evidence if it would throw shade on them. So maybe Funi is part of the all and somebody else is the saboteur. Maybe. Then there's, of course, okay, then there's Edgy Boy and Quiet Girl, and they are the most obvious and therefore in my mind probably the least likely suspects, if that makes sense. Because mystery writing, right? And then there's the last one, which, like, first time I read it, I was like, nah, there's no way. It's impossible. And now I've been simmering on it and I'm like, maybe. Maybe we don't know Arias as well as we thought we did. And there are layers of drama in that possibility that are really interesting to me. For example, had Kanata not gone out and saved Arias, then maybe they wouldn't be in as much trouble as they are, right? Assuming that she's the saboteur. I don't think she is, specifically because we have scenes where we are introduced to her beforehand, and that's a very classic way of preventing distrust, right? Like, Arias is our POV character from the beginning. But there's another layer to that, which is like, because it's a classic way of preventing distrust of your main character, it's also kind of a classic way of misleading the audience to think that your main character is trustworthy when they're really not, and we don't actually understand them as well as we think. The point is, this is interesting, and there's writing here that, like, that has enough potential threads to it that you can get invested in your own headcanon and really think about this show and have fun with it. It's not incredibly deep, but it is an interpersonal, dramatic, mysterious conflict, and it just keeps getting better. It keeps getting better as we get more information. So, because of that, all I can do is go and get more information, and so the only way to do that is to watch the next episode, and so that's what we're gonna do. Let's watch Kanata no Astra episode 4 and see where we go from here. Oh yeah, there was a bunch of other stuff. Oh yeah, the gun. Oh my god, there was so much in the last episode. They got hit by a meteorite, and it screwed up some of their systems, managed to fix it. But then there was an alien bug inside, because there was, I guess. And Edgy Boy revealed that he is quite a shot. And then he says some line like, I wasn't planning on using guns for this, implying that he was planning to use them for something else. And then he goes into his room and he's got this like thing, this like hard shell case, this pelican case with a super fancy pistol in it. So clearly he has plans for a gun, but on who and for what? He seems like the kind of character who's got his own revenge mission that's totally separate from whatever's going on and will be misdirected into thinking that he's the traitor, but then will come to understand his like reasoning for doing what he's doing. That's my guess. I don't know. I don't know, man. There's so many characters and they're all so unique and all of them have like mysterious motivations or motivations that we can doubt, except Kanata, I think. I think Kanata is probably my like least likely to be bad boy. Just because we know his backstory, we know what he's interested in. We know his motivations. We've seen inside his head, and we haven't done that as much with any other character, including Arias. All right, I'm blathering, but I'm having fun doing it, so I hope you've had fun listening. Let's stop doing that and get into the episode. I have it up. It is at 0 seconds. There will be picture-in-picture version with the video up there in the description. Time-based version. Get out of my way, cable. Time-based version on YouTube. Discussion at the end. Beep beep timer at the beginning to sync up with your own version if that's what you want to do. Beep beep timer goes here. So, first day on a new planet. What kind of planet have we got? Hi, Kittery. Looking good. As usual. Thanks for the fan service. You're welcome, Zach. Computing and done. uh, I'm just trying to wash my hands. Yeah. She wants some response. Hmm? Hmm. I don't trust Bigo. You okay? Well, but then there wouldn't be more stories, so. Right, but it was just random happenstance. It's the power of paranoia. Gosh, she's still just sitting quietly in the corner. Unless they're depressed and suicidal. He's right. The paranoia is the most dangerous possibility. Okay. Alright, we're using that now. And no response from her. Suspicion. Just a little bit. Reveal yourself, grr! Slightly light. Mildly bouncy. What are those weird stocky plants? They look like bulbs. I wonder if they open up during a certain time of day. Oh. Hmm. Nice try. Yeah, it seems pretty empty. This music. I have a role to play. Yeah. Shit, they got me. Oh no. Okay, so we're splitting up into groups. Things can go interesting. What are you talking about? It's cuter now. Ow. Just give it an ow. It's delicious. Doubt it. Okay. As many as she can. Hmm. It's a very close moon. Wait. How close is the moon? It's ridiculous. The tides. Wait, there might not be enough water. Yay. What about those big asparagus things? That's what I'm intrigued by. Oh. Fuck. All right. Well, I get the strong feeling this is her episode. Mm-hmm. Mm. Oh. Are the candy plants a problem? Are they just lures? But then they wouldn't be able to grow up. Then are there predators? But the plants may be the predators. I think we may have just met one. Actually, seems relatively friendly. What the fuck is it? He loves his weird creatures. Oh, it wants to give you a ride. Are they intelligent? Do they have intelligent masters? What the hell? We got dino ostriches. Okay. I was thinking, like, maybe there's something weird about the plants on this planet. But I guess not. Yes, you are a perfect pretty girl. Uh-oh. Oh. Dang. Uh-oh. Not enough. She's gonna figure it out. The quiet girl. She's gonna figure something out. Because she was looking at the other plants earlier. Yeah, no choice. Damn. Okay, we bring her up. Now she thinks of herself as useless and a burden. Great. But that in and of itself demonstrates a desire to be useful to the group, which implies that she's not trying to sabotage them. Hmm. Missing. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna guess that they're going to find her. Oh, Kanata's gonna find her. Or not. Oh, it's a little pig demon. You probably eat that. Mom, what the fuck? What? 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 Why are anime parents always the worst? Oh. What? Okay. A way to hide your face. But they're more than that. They're a mask. Hmm. Hmm. But you're not. Fear of failure. You were raised wrong. Forget it. I want to slap her mom. Hmm. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Get inside. Get inside. Get inside. Fuck. Now. Paralytic. Carnivorous, poisonous mushrooms. Cool. It's an interesting idea. They've got their uh friendo. No. What? Found a cure? Yep. I think it's more than that. I think it's an antidote. But they don't know that it's even toxin. Charles managed to make the call. Good. Let's get some more of that fruit. This bad. So we gotta go out and get more of those plants. Yunhua? Yunhua, this is your time to prove yourself. Help. Mmm. Mmm. Yunhua, hero moment. There has to be some way to allow the animals to age up and grow. some kind of other part of the cycle. Hmm. Ping pong. And then die. That's really smart. That's interesting on so many levels. It works as a story element. It works as like a believable evolution of life on this planet. It's pretty dope. Exposure? Shit. Okay, so Yunhua is the only one remaining. You have to. You're the only one who can. Those weird animals. Wait, you're gonna take your helmet off? Oh, Jesus. But Yunhua found one without being exposed. Otherwise, you wouldn't be afraid of failing. Don't. Oh. Fuck your mother. Stupid. And she's on the stage from her childhood. I just got spine shivers. Leave some for the rest of us. Okay. She stopped wearing the glasses. All right. This was a fun episode. So, again, this felt like it was Unifor's episode, and the ending absolutely confirms that to me. I think I'm pretty comfortable saying that I no longer suspect her. Uh, we went a little deeper into who she is, what she's all about. We had gotten a couple of flashes of her mom being not so nice, so this isn't super unexpected. But damn, I hate her mom. Why, anime parents? Why? Why? Just like absolutely crushing her spirit and telling her to never stand out and not try. It's so ridiculous. So ridiculous. So, we had a nice little arc for her in this episode. A cool planet, inventive life forms. I was kind of surprised to see these dino beasties all hand drawn with like fluff and fur on them. It's kind of cool. Um Intriguing. Not sure what's wrong on this planet as we get there. My first thought was that the candy plants were like the lure, right? Like an anglerfish. So you eat a few of those and you get knocked out, and then the moss devours you, or something like that. The way that they went with it makes a lot more sense. They show us those big poles in the beginning, and they make it very clear that they're like stalks and blooms. So wondering when are they gonna open and what's gonna happen. It's already in your head, and you're thinking about it as they go and they explore and they find these groupies and they find some plants and foods and stuff, and then it's revealed, and it's not good. It's a big problem. So I think the only confusing element of this episode for me really is Kanata's pulling off his mask. It makes for a cool hero moment for Kanata, sure, but the logic of it doesn't seem to line up to me, right? Like, if I were in this situation, I would not drop my mask for this. I guess it ends up working out in the end, but the reasons why aren't very clear. Like, do the pillar plants, the pillar mushroom things, only develop the antidote ones when there's like a nearby creature that has ingested their spores? And how do they know? And like, why? I guess maybe you could make the argument that like if they had the antidotes out all the time, then animals could just come nom on the antidotes and never get sick. I guess that's probably their justification, but I also guess it kind of just doesn't matter. General production in this episode actually felt like a step up. Uh, while there were still a lot of relatively flat scenes, and we're doing more like panning shots of relatively still frames with characters talking and slight motion than we are like any kind of bombastic action, but that's okay because what matters is the believability and the consistency of the art style, our feeling that this environment is real, as far as a universe, and I think it just continues to nail it. There's an aesthetic sensibility to everything inside the ship and the suits and the stuff that they've made that contrasts really nicely with the crazy weird alien life forms that have been invented for each planet. It's really nice. I believe all of it, even when it's a little bit contrived, like this taking off the mask thing, and then okay, that does solve the problem. I am I'm a little bit sad that Yunhua herself. I keep forgetting to put the little F in there because there's like a partial F, partial H sound in her name. It's like Yunhua, hua. It's like you huh, but with your lips more closed, so that it's almost a f. So it's Yunhua, hua. It's hard. English speakers, man. um, I assume that's a Chinese like origin name, but I'm not sure. Um, I'm kind of sad that she didn't get her own real hero moment. I She sort of did with recognizing that the antidote mushroom was probably that, and she sort of did with like no, I wouldn't even call that a hero moment. That's more of a personal evolution moment. She gets a character arc for sure, but she doesn't get a hero moment. And that's what I sort of wanted for her. I wanted her to have. I guess the singing could be at least for her, because she gets to self-actualize a little bit. And a theme throughout the episode is that, like, you don't have to do big things to help out. Little things can be a lot. Just making people a little more comfortable is sometimes all you can do, even if you do have expertise like Kittery does. She's the ship's doctor, but she can't do anything for these people. And there's something that in the way that we shoot Yunhua after hearing that makes me think that something registers with her, that it's like, I don't have to do that much. I just have to try. And so I guess singing is her way of doing that. So maybe that is a hero moment for her. That last scene where we move between time and place and outfits for Yunhua, as her suit becomes a beautiful dress, and she sees herself on that stage from her childhood that she wasn't allowed to perform on, but desperately wanted to, and she gets to experience that in this moment and overcome a regret. Like, this is a really cool episode. Like, this is character writing. I'm excited. I'm so excited by this. It's hard to, I don't know. I feel like I would have a hard time trying to sell somebody on this show, but once they watch a couple of episodes, they're gonna get it. The show is good. It has good characters and an interesting story that causes them to interact in interesting ways and better themselves and each other. And then there are undercurrents of distrust, so we're invested in finding out what these characters are all about, because it could be evidence for us to use in our own headcanons of, like, well, is Yunhua the saboteur? Like, is Funi the saboteur? What's going on? It's all interesting, and we have to pay attention to all the little details, because we never know when something small could be something more. This is just good writing. If you know people who aren't watching the show yet, like, go and have a chat with them. Hey, maybe go and watch this show. It's really good. Because this episode was amazingly good. And as I've been talking about it, I'm realizing it's so much tighter in writing than it seems. Because we spend, and this happens in each of the episodes, before, and we're sort of boiling this down to, like, there's a formula going on here. There's always, like, something that goes wrong a little bit past the midpoint. I guess we follow sort of a traditional 3-act structure. What, we hit, like, the 1/3 mark when everybody passes out. Yeah. So I guess we kind of follow a pretty traditional 3-act structure for each episode. Yeah, setting the stage at the 1/3 point. Where's our inciting? Okay. So our inciting is that I guess it's the second one, though. Is that most of the food isn't storable, so they don't actually have enough, so they have to stay and continue searching. And then there's this midpoint incident where Yunhua runs. It's almost exactly at the midpoint. We go out searching for her, but the formula is pretty much like, by the third section, third of the episode, something goes horribly wrong that affects the entire party's chances of survival, and they have to deal with it. That's been the case in each episode. And then so far, we've been also doing, like, little investigations into specific characters in each episode. Cool. Great. But in each episode, we also spend a good chunk of time just going and exploring the planet, and usually these scenes, as interesting as they are, they feel like goof-off sections. Like this section where we get these jokes. I think these are a reference to a specific show or manga, these specific panels, because I've seen this specific style elsewhere as a gag, and I know that it was a specific reference, but I don't know to what. But this whole section where they find the candy plants, and Yunhua is, like, off on her own doing stuff. There are a few things that are going on here, but all in all, you could cut for the specific story. You could cut some of this stuff, but you can't, because we need time to like accommodate to this new world, this new area, and to the new character details that we're getting. so that we can start to piece things together and start to figure out who are we focusing on, what's going on this planet, what do we suspect, what do we trust, what's going on. And then it slowly builds up. Tension builds as they find more elements until something goes wrong, and usually a specific character has an issue. So all of the little bits that feel like filler are more like space. They're more like negative space, right? In a piece of art, you're always told of the importance of negative space in a flat drawing or in graphic design. There's something extremely important about the way that what is drawn interacts with what is blank. And I think that you could say the same thing about film. For action and tension to work, you have to have build. For a horror film to work, you have to have a slow start. Often, for traditional horror, for making media in general, if it's just a mile a minute, every minute, it's exhausting. And what this does is it gives us this time to breathe into the episode. And we breathe into it, and we get reacquainted with these characters after a week away from them. And we remember their dynamics, and we remember what the goals are. And we remember little bits and pieces. And we laugh at a couple of jokes. And then things start getting more interesting and more serious. And we start getting details about characters, hints at their motivations, hints at their pasts, hints at what could be going on this planet. This was a great episode. Good job, Kanata no Astra. All right, that's gonna be about it for me. I think I've said my piece. I like this episode. I like the arc that they gave to Yunhua. My only nitpick at all is my only two nitpicks. One of them isn't even valid. It's that she doesn't really get a hero moment. First off, she doesn't necessarily need one. Second, she kind of does. She remembers about the antidote and she sings. And given the themes of the story, that could count. So that one's an invalid criticism. I don't even know why I brought it up again. And the other one is that he takes off the mask. It's kind of dumb on his part as a character. Writing-wise, it produces a hero moment for him. Kanata has, I think in almost every episode, risked himself physically, risked his own well-being in order to save another member of the crew. He did it for Arius. He did it for Funi when she was on top of the thing. He didn't really in the last episode with the weird bug thing or the meteor. I don't think he did. I could be wrong. I might just not remember. So that might be the exception. But in most episodes, Kanata has risked himself. So he gets to do that again. Okay. I don't think it's the strongest thing in the world, but it's fine. It aligns with his character, at least. So I don't think it's an out-of-character moment. It's fine. But overall, I think this episode was really solid. Maybe one of the best so far. Hard to say. They've all been pretty good. So, yeah, good times. I've been Teeaboo. This has been Kanata no Astra, episode 4? Yep. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, and I hope to catch you next week in the next one, because I'm not going to stop watching a show that I love. And I love it. I do. So, peace.